Okay, so this one is the solution for questions 13. Question 13 got a bit problem because question 13 talk about, right, a bat flies with a distant velocity, but the question didn't mention where's the direction of the bat fly. So I'm going to add here flying here towards the wall at 5 meter per second. All right, I made the chips at 40 kilohertz. Okay, if this sound pulse is reflected by a wall, what is the frequency of the echoes received by the bat? Right, they give you the speed of the sound. So how you solve questions like this? This one is actually two situations. Right, the first one is the bat here. So this is the bat. So the bat will fly towards the wall. So this is the wall. So bat will act as a source of sound. So this is the velocity directions. Alright. So this is the V of the source, since that the bat will act as a source. And the velocity they give you is 5 meter per second. Okay. So this wall flying towards the wall, and then the wall will act as observer. Alright. So since that the wall is observer and the wall is not moving, so the speed of observer is equals to 0. So using the Doppler effect equation, so the equation state that, right, apparent frequency will be equals to, this is the equation, the equation let me see, hold on. Okay, V plus minus V naught, V plus minus Vs. So I'm going to rub off the plus minus. So since that V naught is equal to 0, so I can cancel out. So we need to determine the sign for Vs. So in this case, I've mentioned in the class, so we need to determine the direction of sound. Sound travel from source to observer. Right? It must travel from source to observer. This is the V direction. Sumber bunyi mesti arah gelombang bunyi mesti daripada sumber ke observer. So your observer now is the wall. So this is direction. So both of these is same direction. So same direction saya dah bagi tahu, I've mentioned in the class. Same direction means the direction here we should put negative here. So what you do is, firstly, calculate the apparent frequency. So this is apparent frequency heard by observer, which is the wall, right? So substitute in lah. So this one 40 kilohertz. This one it will be the frequency of the source. This one will be 5 meter per second. And then this V will be based on the value given in the question, 331. Right? So calculate, you will get the frequency heard by observer, apparent frequency by observer. So that means that the wall will get that kind of this value of frequency. So once you have done the first part, the second part is sound wave is being reflected, dipantulkan towards the bat. Right? So the second situation now will be a bit different. Second situation now, the wall now will act as a source sebab bunyi tu datang daripada wall. Right? So this is your V of the speed of sound. So the wall will be your source. So source value will be equal to 0. That means that the speed of the source tak bergerak, dinding tak bergerak. So your bat pula, this is your bat. So this is a bat. The bat will still going to move at the same speed. Right? Bat will still going to move as 5 meter per second. But bat now is your observer. Right? So VO. Okay. So you can see that this is the speed of sound. Sound will move from the source towards observer. Right? So this is second situation. Now second situation, dinding akan jadi source, bat akan jadi observer. So how you going to use the equations? So gunakan equation Doppler effect juga. VO VVS. Alright, but this time your source is equals to 0, the speed of the source. So sini kosong. So we need to determine the sign untuk di sini. So how to determine? So we have to look at the direction of V, which is to the left, direction of observer, which is to the right. So opposite direction. So I've mentioned kalau dua-dua ni arah berlawanan, sign dia mesti plus. So substitute in, alright. So the frequency that you calculate from this part, frequency yang kamu kira di bahagian pertama tadi, this is the frequency reach the wall. So this frequency will become the source lah. Sebab wall yang menghasilkan bunyi. So frekuensi yang dapat daripada dinding tu akan jadi frekuensi yang dihasilkan oleh dinding sebab dia pantulkan frekuensi itu. Alright, so calculate everything. So you should be able to get the apparent frequency heard by the bat balik. Alright, so bat dia akan dengar balik frekuensi yang dikeluarkan pada awalnya, tetapi nilai frekuensi akan berbeza lah disebabkan oleh Doppler effect. Right? This is how you calculate frequency of echoes received by the bat. Okay, alright, thank you.